Hip Rocker Productions, making new changes to the world of music through Jesus Christ, amen.
Ladies and gents, welcome. It is 6/10 or 18/10, April 24th, 2017, April 28th, 2017. Welcome to week 45, sessions 221 to 225 for the business-minded leaders. Well, hashtag business-minded leaders, aka the Wolfstand's podcast. It's your host, Quentin Moore, also known as Chinchilla Q of HipRocketProductionCM.com. Saying what's good with it, y'all. You guys can hear I kind of like congested a little bit on the right side of my nose. The wind is blowing great out here again in California, but the worst thing that's blowing is pollen, which is kind of aggravating my senses and whatnot. So yeah, my allergies is acting up again, and that's not the business. Been acting up since I had a migraine this morning from last night. Try to listen to the wind and stuff, and that was a bad idea. I think the bad idea was playing dominoes at damn near almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Take it back around 10 or 11 inside the dark with lanterns on, whatever. So yeah, I think that may have did it. Not the wind actually did it, because even then I was sneezing too. So like, yeah, my allergies just like really toe up right now. I'm like, I love the weather out here in California, but I hate it where you have to go back to work the next day when your nose is tripping. That's not the business. So for those of you that have allergies, I don't want to take Benadryl, because I know if I do, I'm gonna be knocked out. And I'm not trying to have that to happen out like the wind right now. The beats you hear in the background is produced by yours truly. So let's get on with the rest of the show. This week has been one very interesting week and things of that nature. Listen to if you guys want to know why, listen to the special podcast I did on Tuesday, which was I forgot what day that was. I think that was on April 25th. Listen to that one, and you guys will understand why. But for this week, Blessed Mondays has got 3 parts to it. The reason why it's got 3 parts to it is for the fact that I was trying to really relay a message. So let's get on with the show. So on April 24th, 2017, Blessed Mondays, part 1. I'm going to repeat this message again. Life is extremely fragile and never promise. Enjoy your family and your friends, for you never know the day or time that it may go. The same thing, April 24th, 2017, Blessed Mondays, part 2. So if your job is giving you strife or something in your life is frustrating you, by all means get out for the negative environments and get somewhere in which you can enjoy life. April 24th, 2017, Blessed Mondays, part 3. Never settle for less. At the same time, stop chasing at the money, for once you leave this earth, you can't take it with you. What happens on earth stays on earth. That's not the one I want to play. That's not the one I want to play either. We'll play this one. Hold on for 1 second. Allergies, they're not the business. Alright, y'all. So, let me explain to you guys what I was representing on, well, I was actually about on part 1, part 2, and part 3 for Blessed Mondays on April 21st, 2017. The reason why I say life is extremely fragile, never promise. I got some news on Monday that was not very pleasant, and really caught me off guard, big time. Because I remember talking to the Lord about, how this, hopefully this year we'll hear about no more, deaths of relatives and things of that nature. And it's like the prayer for like last week and everything. But it's crazy how, things come to fruition to where you can't question God. Why? You just have to know that, hey, we all have a due date. So, so Monday caught me by surprise, big time, man. I did it so week, it's been cool, but it's been kind of very awkward at the same time too. But it led me to do 3 parts for Blessed Mondays, which is a blessing. So I said for part 2, so if your job is giving you strife for something in your life is if your job is giving you strife or something in your life is frustrating you, by all means get out from the negative environments and get somewhere in which you can enjoy your life. That ties in with part 1. The reason why it ties in is because over at my job that I work at, it's a whole lot of crazy crap that's going on, whatever. And our job is getting the heat and things on certain stuff that we ain't really doing. So I'm looking at what's happening, and I remember telling one of my coworkers who doesn't work there, but he's doing better. And this also tied in with actually, this ties on part 2, because I just talked to one of my good friends and everything, who almost like a mentor to him in a way. And the reason being was because he's over at the job he was working at, I told this cat, like, hey man, you need to make, do your own business and things of that nature. Mind you, I planted the seed 2 years ago. The seed is now growing. The brother, take some classes over at, college, doing business courses and things of that nature. Looking for a different job that's actually more environmental friendly and things of that context, meaning work in an environment where it's just free of the drama and stuff like that. At the same time, he worked on his own business of doing, whatever he wants to do. So it was cool talking with my homie yesterday about that. And, we just basically like masterminding and things of that nature. And that's what life is really about, because even at my job, and me and a couple other folks, at the first, we were just like, man, we just really want to turn in our badges and say y'all can have it. Whatever. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not about, and this ties into part 3 for Blessed Money. So I said, never settle for less. At the same time, stop chasing after money. But once you leave this earth, you can't take it with you. What happens on earth stays on earth. Now I'm going to explain that little quote at the end too. The reason why I have mentioned that right there, and everything. Oh, I didn't want to spell that. Let's spell that. The reason why I had mentioned that too is because we work at jobs where, in all truth and reality, we don't really want to be working at. And so you have folks that truly, get pissed off about certain things. And, the money factor, I understand, we, for those of us that do have jobs, we have to, and I just pulled up the instrument right there. There we go, bam. We have to, there we go. I want to play this in the background. We want to, continue to provide for our family and things of that nature, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're at a job that you do not like, an environment is very negative, get out from it. You hear the notion for folks saying, well, make sure you have another job to the side, be able to. Forget all that for the time being. Here's what you need to do. Trust in God, but get your grind on. While, you tell the job that you're at, like, hey, I can't do this anymore because there's too much stuff that's just going on to where I do not need to be in this type of environment. And trust me, if the money is good but the environment is not great, then that's where you need to really look deep within yourself and say, okay, I'm going to keep working at a job that I really hate. The money is cool because I can pay the bills and things of that nature, but I don't spend time with my family. You see how parts 1, 2, and 3 ties in with each other? Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is live life to the fullest when you really enjoying life. Not when you have other life's problems that blinds you for what's really happening, to the point where if your time to go, now you're not going to know what's going to hit you because you're so focused on the now as opposed to being focused on the future. At the same time, the reason why I said stop chasing money, because there's a whole lot of folks, and I see it especially on Instagram accounts for entrepreneurs, where they post up. I post up, law of attraction, which is not bad. Folks want to be rich and things of that nature. But like I mentioned before, do you want to be rich or do you want to be wealthy? It's two differences. You can be rich and have everything that you want, but that's going to be temporary. Or you can be wealthy and use your wealth to help others, but at the same time build up your family and leave a legacy behind for your family generations. That's the second theory is what you want to be. Because I look at some of these entrepreneurs on Instagram and things of that nature. They post up the same pictures of the bootleg European cars. And the reason why I said bootleg is because I'm like a tuner. For those of you that play Midnight Club, the racing game, whatever, you know the difference between luxury cars, tuners, and trucks and things of that nature. So you know that tuners is like a Dodge and Mitsubishi and stuff like that. Cars that you can actually customize. I like cars that you can customize. I'm not really too fond of a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini or Ferrari. None of them. Why? Because to me they blah. Where you could get a Dodge Hellcat, Dodge Challenger Hellcat, with I think now they amped up the speed to 829 miles per hour, but you could customize that and put 1,000 miles per hour or whatever engine into it and really get some bang for your buck, which can easily outsmoke a Lamborghini, because I think Lamborghinis are kind of like capped at 700 and something like that. But yeah, so I like cars of that nature, muscle cars and lowriders and stuff like that. Cars are classics. Lamborghinis and stuff, we always hear that we'll make it once, like we produce 30 limited edition. Yeah, so if you mess it up, you can't get it fixed. But if you mess with your Dodge, you can get the components fixed and things of that nature. See, that's how you gotta think. You gotta think wealthy. And some of you guys might say, well, Dodge ain't good. Actually, it is better than a Chevrolet. And sure as heck better than a Ford. But at the same time, what I'm trying to explain to you is you see folks that post up the pictures like that, nothing against them. But at the same time, you really gotta post up. You want to be rich or do you want to be wealthy? But at the same time, what they also should post up is the sacrifices you're going to have to make if you try to get to that point in life. But you got to keep learning. The Streets Why this instrumental you hear in the background is entitled Stay Steadying, from the motivational mixtape which I did in February, which is still on iTunes and things, and it's called When the Wolves Come, Value 1. Search my name Chinchilla Q and then pop up. Little advertisement by myself, I had to do that right there. But at the same time, don't chase at the money, because like I said before, you chase at the money, you go lose it, period. Family is very fragile. Well, this life is fragile, so always appreciate life for the fullest. Never be caught up in the rat race. And excuse me for 1 second, I'll be right back. For those of you, I'm going to mention again, that have your sinuses that be acting up, where it be super windy and the pollen just be attacking your allergies, I'll tell you right now, it's not the business. So with that, hopefully I explained Blessed Mondays properly. If not, then I'll make sure I come back to it on Monday or Tuesday while I'll be doing the video podcast, so stay tuned for that. So, April 25th, 2017, on the Grind Tuesdays, I said life is extremely fragile. Stop living in fear and stop living somebody else's bullcrap.